Cool.
Cool.
I'm
pretty sure that's all I need to do. Are you guys good to go?
No, I'm sheep.
Time's up. Let's do this.
We're in for a wild night.
Welcome everyone to episode 251 of Born to Be Wild, a wild Hearthstone podcast where we have fun, hanging out with friends, talking about the wild format of Hearthstone, and spotlighting members of the wild community. I'm your host, Hydralisk. It's great to be back on a wonderful Friday evening here in the greater Vancouver area. I am stoked to be joined by fellow hosts, ElectricSheepCity.
Meowdy.
And Schmoopydady!
Sheep is standing, and I didn't want to be left out, so I'm standing too.
For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome aboard. We record this podcast live every Friday evening at twitch.tv/borntobewildhs. And the video version of this podcast is posted to YouTube shortly thereafter. Audio versions are also distributed to all podcast apps. So however you are watching, listening, or absorbing via osmosis this podcast today, thank you. Yes. You.
Content plug, Schmoopydady. Before we get into the main topic of the show tonight, I'd like to say a quick thank you to the patrons of our show. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoy this content, please like, subscribe, and comment on this video on YouTube. Another simple way to support the show is to leave a review on your podcast platform of choice. If you're watching live on Twitch, we've got some awesome emotes that you can unlock by subscribing to the channel. This is free if you use Amazon Prime. Finally, if you'd like to support the show financially, you can join our Patreon for as little as $1 per month. We have some channels in the Discord that are unlocked by subscribing to the Patreon, where you could see the show coming together each week. Check it out. If you'd like to interact with us personally, please join our Discord, a free and amazing online community of friends from all across the world who love talking about wild Hearthstone. Links to all of this stuff and more, including our merch, can be found on our website, which is www.borntobewildhs.com. Sheep, how was your week? Or Hydra, how's your week? Who's weak? Are we weaking?
Hydra, how was your week?
My week was fantastic. So, Schmoopydady, if you haven't noticed yet, basically, if Sheep is hosting, we do Sheep's week first. And then if Hydra's hosting, we do Hydra's week first. For some reason, recently, this has been broken. But it's funny. It's funny. I might just keep this in.
You can't do. I play wild. You can't do this to me. You can't switch things up like that. All right. My pattern recognition is maxed out to basically whatever cards my opponent is playing. I know exactly what deck they're playing. But if you do anything like this that breaks up the rhythm, it's gonna throw a wrench in me. I'm gonna be off the entire episode now.
Dude, you see what happened was the pattern was there and like you recognized it, and then for a while, whenever I wasn't on as much because I was finishing out my masters and all that stuff. So whenever I was on, I was typically like the one hosting the show, which means that you got into the rhythm of always just saying sheep. So then the pattern recognition changed, and now, we're reinitiating the,
original
old,
pattern,
new pattern. Yeah, exactly.
Is this just the Mandela effect? Did I get Mandela affected?
No.
It's always been sheep first.
We Pavlovian programmed you, and then we changed it, and then now we just have to rechange it.
I'm gonna call it the Hydra sheep from now on. That's it. It's the only way to fix
I now
this.
wish I didn't edit this part out of the last time that you got confused.
Oh, wait, this is not the first time?
No.
What?
Because now this is staying in.
What?
Yeah. It stays in this time.
Oh my God. Dude, chat's gonna have to guess which was the first time I messed this up. That's the super fans are gonna have to go. They're gonna have to troll through the footage. They're gonna have to figure it out. They're gonna be like, "What was the first episode in which Schmoopydady made this mistake and said, 'Sheep, how's your week?' but instead it was Hydra's week."
I think the hint is, as soon as one of us starts talking after you, we're both just really laughing. But
Yeah.
because yeah. Anyways, my week was
Hydra.
great. I got through like 80% of the book that I had started by the end of the week last week. It's about a 20-hour listen or so, and I got about 4 hours left. So that's pretty cool. That's Lacey's Story by Stephen King.
Nice.
It's really cool. It's also an Apple TV show. It doesn't have the highest rating on Apple TV, but I could see them maybe not sticking to the original content or whatever. I'll probably watch it and see what is the deal there. But so far, so good. Cheap, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it yet, but I've been consistently like impressed with Apple TV's stuff, and I didn't think I was going to be. So yeah, I'll give it a shot for sure.
Yeah, I think it's sitting around like a 6 out of 10 or something.
I hear Apple TV like gets some like really critically like makes some really critically acclaimed stuff and nobody watches it. Like creates like love Apple TV programming and then nobody actually like watch for whatever reason. Nobody actually just the programs never take off, which is weird.
Yeah, well, that's where Foundation is, right?
Yeah,
like Isaac Asimov's Foundation, like that thing has been around. I think the first book in Foundation was written back in like the late 30s, early 40s or something. Like it's known
foundational
as one
to science fiction for sure. Right?
Wow, he wrote that for Apple TV. That's amazing. How do you know?
Yeah.
He's such a visionary.
almost like 100 years ago.
If you've actually read Foundation, then like that would be especially apropos, actually.
Yeah, what do they call the mathematics psycho something? I forget.
I can't recall. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
that is
Well,
on
that's
my
a different
list.
meme. It's a different meme.
It is not Slipknot. It is not Slipknot.
Different meme.
Yeah.
Different name.
Anyway, so I've almost done that book, and I've been flying through the recent books like in the 2000s. I've got my rhythm back. I've got it back.
Nice.
And then I decided, so I had Tuesday off of work. Yes, let's go Tuesday, which was the first of the month. And so I was like, hey, let's do that thing that, Schmoopydady does and try to get like Legend on the first day. That didn't happen. But I did play the Pirate Demon Hunter deck. Nice. And I did go 22 and 13, which was pretty cool. So I'm chilling in Diamond. And I'm on like a 7-game win streak right now. So
That'll do her.
yeah. I'll probably keep jamming it for now and, see what happens. I know Schmoopydady, you can tell your story next, but I know that sometimes you take a turn and you switch decks at a certain point, right, to feed on people like me doing this. But so far it's working, and I'll probably just stick with it and try to hit. I would like, obviously, to hit before the new expansion. It kind of makes sense just to get there in the next, 3 days that we have. But yeah, basically that's all I really did this week. Like, not a lot, but I did play a bunch of Hearthstone, so that's cool. Sheep, how was your week?
Yeah, my week was pretty good. I've been playing a lot of Astral's Druid, so Astral Communion Druid. Yeah.
Astral's Flame Druid?
That is, of course, what I've called the deck, Astral's Flame. So I've been playing that a ton, big druid doing like just fun shenanigans, really consistent with all the ways to tutor it out and all that good stuff. So been having a lot of fun in our format of Wild. Today, I haven't played as much Hearthstone. I've logged in, but I haven't cleared like a daily or anything yet. because today was 4th of July here in the States. And so we had the day off. And so we had, we essentially what they call at my son's daycare, a splash day. We had one of those, but at home. So we like blew up like this. It's kind of like a kiddie pool, but like slightly larger. So it's definitely not like one that, you know, like an above ground pool or anything. But, and then the lamb was just running around in there having so much fun. We brought in the slide. So he was like going up his slide that is typically inside and going down that. It was so much fun. Yeah. He had a blast with that. And then I made burgers for lunch and we did that thing. So that was fun too. And throughout this, I was actually inspired earlier today to record a parody song, which we will display a little bit later, because like it's already done and all of that stuff. So, Schmoopy, how was your week, friend?
Sure. Again, you know, 4th of July for me as well. Don't see why it wouldn't be, as we're not part of some sort of space-time continuum or something, but I haven't been here for a little bit, so I figure I'd give you a family. Or are we? No. So we spent the day with my sister-in-law at her house, with her family. And like normally I'm giving like, you know, Schmoopy updates because like, you know, he's my pain in the butt, but I don't talk enough about my daughter. My daughter, I was super impressed with today. We hooked her up with a life vest, and she's 4, and she'll sing a song about that. I'm 4, I'm 4, I'm 4, and she'll do a little wiggle dance with it. And we stuck her in the pool, and she's a brave little girl this year. Last year, she was clinging to us. She was a little scared of the pool. She didn't want to explore it all. And this year, she was like, she has her life vest, and she's paddling around in there, just enjoying the pool. And so, like, we're just keeping an eye on her and kind of being like, all right, we don't have to be in. Okay, I'll have my beer here and just, yeah, you have fun, daughter. Daughter's official name, by the way, is Schmoopy2 Electric Boogaloo, but like that's way too long to say repeatedly, so she's just sort of usually just daughter instead of Schmoopy. So that was cool. That was a good day, but everybody was burned. Like we were all fried when we got back. Like Schmoopy had an episode where like, you know, his eyes started itching, and then I gave him drops for it, and he's like, you know, full on tantrum of like, no, my eyes hurt. And I'm hungry. And it's like, yeah, dude, you didn't drink enough water. You probably have sunscreen in your eyes. We need to take a shower. Come on, dude. And he recovered. But like, you know, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, everybody spent too much time in the sun, and everybody took some naps, and we're good to go now. I did not hit Day 1 Legend this month, which is rare for me. We were actually at a water park the day of it. It was like our travel back day. So not only did I spend the morning basically in the park in the wave pool holding my daughter, which was also pretty cool, or going down humongous slides with Schmoopy. Schmoopy is I'm trying to think of the proper measurements. I don't know. He's like he's not quite up to my shoulder, but he's pretty close, and he's 70 pounds, which is trying to think about it in quick kilos. Is like 35 kilos for the EU and just the rest of the crew and Hydra. I don't know. Hydra thinks in metric too, probably. So he's huge. And he's 7, but he was like all about the slides. Like he's like, Dad, let's do this slide. Dad, let's do this slide. So like we pop in, and he's tall and big enough to like do big kid stuff, and he's got the disposition. So it's like, all right, let's cut loose. That sounds like fun. But like again, I am. Let's do quick maths again. Hold on. I am like 110 kilos. So like we're a little uneven going down the inner tubes. So like we're really ripping, and he's a little out of the water at parts. So that was really exciting. But yeah, I missed Day 1 because I was mostly just like didn't have time to climb during the middle of the day that I usually do. And so I was trying to stream my climb because I got to D3. I was like, I'll be fine. And I mostly did it with. I went about 18 games with Questline with Pirate Demon Hunter Didn't feel like I was getting there. I was like 10 and 8. I was like, all right, let's mess around with some other stuff. Tried Blessed Priest. I had a game where playing Maxie's version of Blessed Priest, I kid you not, I passed 5 turns in a row because I had 0 playable cards. It was one of those, like, you know how like the old Inner Fire decks, like especially the potion version, sometimes if the opponent didn't play a minion, you had nothing to do. This was kind of like that, except in my hand was a Thirsty Drifter, and I'd never played Thirsty Drifter in Blessed Priest, but I cut his bottom, one of them, very quickly after that. Had to censor myself very quickly because I was like, oh yeah, because I felt the wave of rage for a second. And so I missed day 1 trying to stream it because I got up to D3 with Questline Demon Hunter, which is broken and one of the best decks in the format. But it just wasn't clicking. I was 50-50 all stream. Ended the stream at the very bottom of D5, 0 stars, too much experimentation, too much tilt, just not working out for me. Getting high rolled by Big Shaman, undoubtedly playing poorly. But if you told me that on stream at the time, I would have banned you. Like I was just out of my mind.
No.
So so day two, we decided we were gonna like pivot into content. Right? I didn't play all day. I was like, okay. Chat's going to bring me to Legend. We're going to do viewer decks to Legend. And what I noticed immediately is I am not built for viewer decks to Legend. I can play viewer decks anytime, but not to Legend. I am too spiky. It's one time a month that I'm spiky. And like what was an acceptable like submission of like something I should seriously play as if I'm going to hit Legend just wasn't acceptable. Like I was getting like, well, try my even walk, and like I'd win 2 and I'd lose 1, and it was like, all right, this isn't like the best thing, this isn't the worst in the world, but it wasn't clicking with me.
Doesn't feel.
And then somebody said, "Hey, Schmoopy, play your Odin Warrior." I'm like, is this really a good meta for my Odin Warrior? And apparently, I was just all in aggro. I was queuing into Even Shaman. They're coming back. For reasons, I think it's pretty good actually into Pirate DH, Even Shaman. So it's like quietly playable. It's not that bad, especially if you do silly things like put in like Malted Magma, and then you're really hating on the pirates. So like, okay, like all right, I can beat Even Shaman with this. I can beat Shadow Priest with this. Those are like 90-10s, and then every once in a while you get a bad matchup. Astral Communion is close to unwinnable with like Skipper Odin Warrior. They make too many threats. They're spaced out. They come early. Like there's a myriad of reasons why. It's just not a good matchup. Holy Wrath, putrid matchup. You really have to high roll them in order to get there. Big Shaman's fine. Big Shaman's pretty manageable. So I was mostly seeing good matchups. I went 18-7 on stream. And then the next morning, that would be the 3rd, so that would be yesterday. Yesterday morning, I went a quick 4-0 and hit Legend then. Came in at 90.
Nice. Feels good.
Worth noting, though, Hydra, I did not sell you down the river. Shmoopy Mommy hit Legend before me this month using the exact same deck list that I gave you. She also tried some Questline Demon Hunter, so she did like start learning that deck, and she thought that was fun, but then she switched back to Pirates and shot right up, pew, and got in there at 78. So that was my climb this month. A little chaotic, a little like not fun. Not as bad as last August, which was the last time that I hadn't hit Legend in day 1. So now I don't know what it is about the summertime. The summertime is faking me out. Can't make you happier now. I don't know. There's a Glass Animals joke to be made there. Last thing, and then I'm done nattering. I did get to do a charity stream since the last time I was on. Through THL, we were raising money for translifeline.org, which was really cool. Typically, it's the Trevor Project, but this year we swapped it up and went to the Trans Lifeline, which was really neat. It's my favorite stream to do all year because it's a good cause. It's a charity stream. It's a 24-hour charity event where THL basically organizes a bunch of streamers together, and they say, okay, you're going to raid so-and-so, you're going to raid so-and-so, and we basically just keep it going for 24 hours. And that was really cool. So it started with Hoppa Bear, and I was 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. my time, which is not my normal streaming time. but it was very EU friendly. So I got to see a bunch of EU people that I don't normally see, and I got to see a bunch of EU people that I do normally see in their daylight hours instead of their DGen hours. So that was fun, watching some chatters be more perky than usual. And it was really cool. We raised like close to $800 in the stream. Nice. You'll notice I don't have a big bushy beard anymore. I was saving that to shave on stream. I set a goal of $200, and as we made progress, I would shave slowly like a loading bar. Somebody donated 105 right off the bat, so I had to do like a 55-50 type situation. So there is footage of me online with half a beard, like looking kind of like Two-Faced.
That sounds awesome.
Complaining about a Union deck in Standard because Union requested Standard for reasons I don't know. Maxi rated me, so I figured like maybe people want to see Wild or Standard. It was mostly Wild, so like it didn't even matter. But anyway, I digress. That was a lot of fun. That's always an awesome opportunity. My own personal stuff is basically built off of a chat that is very LGBTQ plus. Super queer audience, and so I love being able to give back to that community anyway, because it's just a nice way to say thank you. So that was my week. What was in the news?
Welcome to the news. The news is so good. Well, first up in the news, we'll do a small little segment that we've brought back recently, only because it's been happening a little more recently, and that is First Time Legend.
I have something for this as well.
Good luck, everyone, and everything you do, because you're all absolute bloody legends, and I love you all.
Courtesy of Blister Guy. Yeah, so Miles CH in our Discord posted a message earlier today that they were gone from Hearthstone for the last couple of years, other than logging in every once in a while. And then in June 2025, hopped right back in, was listening to the pod, and they got all stoked on the decks that they could play. Apparently listened to the one with 61 decks at least 2 times.
Nice.
And yeah, and then hit Legend
so
with
much fun. So much work.
a combination of yeah, I know it did look like a lot of work. I was off that week, and like, good job. It's almost like I called in sick on purpose. Didn't have to. But no, seriously, Miles CH hit Legend for the first time in June of 2025 with a mix of Seedlock, 30 card Shadow Priest, and apologetically Imbue Mage.
Don't need to apologize.
Nope. Congratulations, Miles CH. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Seriously, it is. And hitting that for the first time, it feels so good. And I hope you bask in all the glory of the Legend icon coming up in front of you. And it's just a cool moment to experience for the first time. So congratulations. Keep up the good work. That is awesome. And anybody else, if you are a listener and you end up hitting Legend for the first time, please post it in our Discord and we'll definitely highlight it, because it's just a really cool moment that people get to hit. So that's really cool. And then up next in the news. All right, so it's the patch 33.0 patch notes. A lot of this we've kind of talked about near the beginning of what's in here. So just a reminder that Explore the Lost City of Un'Goro does come out July 8th. That is only 4 days from now. Like that. So that's super soon. Right now we have the pre-release Tavern Brawl.
It's more than 2.
The pre-release Tavern Brawl is active right now, so we've already discussed this in the weeks past, but you get your 1 free, so you may as well go do it, especially if you've had any packs that you can open early. If not, do it anyway. It's free.
I did a few of these. I did a few of them, and they were so much fun.
Yeah.
I think that I got a 5-win, a 6-win, a 5-win, and then I played one more, and I don't recall how I did on that one because it was like super late. 3, 2, something like that. But like had a lot of fun playing 2 and like playing my aggro druid was what got me to the 6 wins. I opened the quest, so that was awesome. And then I did play a Murloc Paladin as well. I'm sorry that I contributed to that one. I think my final one was another 2-1. I only am because I ran into so many of them, but I only ran into so many of them after I started the Murloc Paladin run, and I was like, oh no, this is like everywhere.
I mean, if anyone's morally bankrupt, it's me, because I did 3 runs. I got 6 wins on each of them. I went 18-4 overall. And they were all with Imbue. They were all with Imbue Paladin. No new cards. Just no new cards in Imbue Paladin. I was just farming packs. I was like, let's go. Let's go. Signature Ursel. I opened a Signature Ursel at the end of the charity stream, which was like a sign. It was like, yes, now go pwn some noobs. And so that's what I did. Of my 4 losses, 3 of them were mirrors. I did very well in the mirror usually. 3 of them were mirrors, and 1 was a token druid. So there you go.
Nice. I gotta say, I did, from the mega bundle, like open one, get the Murloc Paladin quest in signature. So there was a special reason to play it. It looks so cool. Like what I really want is the druid quest in signature, but like I'm not going to shell out big bucks for that. Like,
don't worry, they'll give you a bundle that you can buy it for like $50.
I was okay, but I heard. Did I hear this correctly? It's the only way you can get some of the signature quests, like the priest and the warrior one. Are they only going to be available in the shop? Are you going to have to shell out for those, or can you pack them?
Don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to look in the collection. So sometimes they have done things with like a number of the ones like the Paladin Imbue stuff, the Druid Imbue stuff, and yeah, confirmed that in chat by Tom that the that unfortunately applies here as well. So which 2 were those? The priest and warrior, you said?
The priest and the warrior quest, and like. The warrior quest is like the big Timmy card, so like people are gonna be like, I really want that signature. None of the rewards are gonna be signature though, right? So like, it's not even like decent signature value in the sense of like, oh, well, all my rewards are signature. No, they're not.
It's just the 8/8 on the board.
I might still do it.
Lame.
I might still do it. I'm gonna see.
See, I think that's probably one that I won't pick up on that one, even though it's one that I'm really excited to play. And gold, I think, will be sufficient for me.
Well, anyway, good job. Like on your runs there, what did you say? 18-4.
18-4 across 3, and then I finished my last one. And I was just sort of hanging out watching like a Linny stream or something like that. And then I was like sort of looking at Discord, and people were like, no. Actually, I saw Tom post. Tom was like, no, they banned my freaking cards, man. I was in the middle of playing this run and they banned my cards. So he couldn't finish the run. He did get tavern tickets for it, but there was a little bit of a scramble being like, wait, was I compensated? And yeah, and they decided that Imbue Paladin was Bastado. It was. And was an unfair advantage. Kind of was. And was against the spirit of the competition. Totally. So they said that they got rid of that. And it was weird they didn't balance. I'm not jumping the news, right? I guess later I am. Oh, well. No, I'm not. Okay, cool. It is weird that they didn't. It is weird that they didn't hit Murloc Paladin at all, because Murloc Paladin was, if it was weaker by a hair. I felt like the matchup was favored for Imbue Paladin because like you just have infinite clears, and eventually what's ironic is the Murlocs get so big that all of a sudden your funny 7-mana spell starts hitting their face by default because the Murlocs are too big and their health total is so low that it's like, all right, well,
That's
you can't hide
hilarious.
from this one. Like, one of the cool things in the Imbue Paladin mirror is like, oh, well, I know they have their aura up, and 2 things are going to get pinged by 5s. So, like, you sort of hold back your Righteous Protectors and drop those late, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, this 1/1 with Divine Shield is going to soak up 2 pings unless they do something about it. And so you could be kind of, like, strategic and kind of, like, wily and not just board dump with that in mind. And the Murlocs couldn't do that because they drop a 1/1. It's a 6/6. It's like, this is going face, baby. So,
Yeah, buddy.
I guess they didn't do anything about Murlocs just because, like, new card. And probably not everybody has it because you have to pack the cards to play this, right? Which is one of the things. It's like the double-edged sword of this event is it's supposed to showcase the new stuff, but not everybody has the new stuff, and not always the new stuff is not always the best stuff. And so it's nice having playable no new card decks, but maybe that shouldn't be the game-breaking, meta-warping deck in the format.
Yeah, and I think maybe that's the other reason why they didn't ban one of like the new cards. Like you were saying, this is where they want to actually showcase that thing.
Yeah.
But if someone had packed it, like what kind of compensation would there have been for that? Because they packed a legendary in a thing that's a totally limited format. Like there's no way to effectively like let them play a different legendary. Like, so then they're more at a disadvantage than they would be
Pick an
otherwise.
alternative.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I see why they didn't, even though it's totally the strongest deck. Like what could they have really done about that for the people who opened it, right? So, but it's kind of everywhere on the in that tavern brawl meta for sure.
Next up is, we sort of exhausted this topic, but there's a bit of a reminder here that your ability to get the King Crush pet is coming soon. That also, I believe, comes out on the 8th as well, with your ability to pull and roll and see what you get. We did talk about this a lot on the previous episode.
Some people were putting him in the E.T.C. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, we do have a new in-game event. So this is for the Lost City of Agoro event that is starting on the 8th. So basically, it's the same type of events that we normally get. This is going to be running from July 8th. So that's the day the expansion launches, all the way till July 29th. And
more than 2.
One important thing to note,
2.
A lot more than 2. To choose an adventure with one of 3 iconic explorers and complete their quest events to earn event XP on their respective event rewards tracks. Okay, so the quest objectives will now refer to traditional modes for completion, which are standard, wild, casual, arena, and tavern brawl. So I guess that leaves out battlegrounds. But so yeah,
And
you have to
Twist.
choose a hero and twist.
Poor
And
twist.
And twist.
It's technically not been retired or anything. So
Poor
like,
twist.
just
Yeah,
like,
man.
technically not. So you have to choose one of either Dino Wrangler Bran, Adventure Finley, or Relic Hunter Reno. And so those are the reward skins that you get at the end of the rewards track. Also, leading up to that is there are 6 Lost City of Ungoro packs, 3 Into the Emerald Dream packs, 3 Year of the Pegasus packs, 2 Great Dark Beyond packs, 1 Perils in Paradise pack. And so I guess choose carefully, because if you don't choose the hero skin that you really, really like, The other ones are going to be in the shop that you could purchase later on. So, like I said, I guess choose carefully because you'll pay for the other ones. I don't know if it's going to be, it's most likely stones or something or money.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if it was gold, but
It would. It would. And so Bran is Hunter, Finley is Paladin, and Reno is Mage. Just looking at the icon in the corner of each one of the visual. So FYI there, if that impacts, like if you love Reno but you never play Mage, and you do play Hunter, and you like Bran, then maybe you pick Bran for this one. So FYI on that one too.
So we do have a card update, a single card update. And that is our
two.
That is less than 2. So that's our Raptor Herald. So Raptor Herald got a bit of a buff, which is cool. So Raptor Herald, I'm sure almost everyone has played this card because you've been somewhat forced to play quests that involve dark gifts a lot recently. Yeah. But this is going to make it a little bit easier to do some stuff because it used to read discover a beast with a dark gift. Now it reads discover a beast with a dark gift. Kindred, it costs 1 less. So cool.
It's evolving.
It's evolving. It's like a Pokemon.
Or like Jurassic Park like style. We're going into Ngoro, and so it evolves to get in there. Or Daps maybe.
Yeah, we could call it adapting, I suppose. So that's pretty cool. I definitely appreciate that they're, making that epic card that, we all got for free a little bit better. Schmoopydady.
It was already busted in Arena. Like, it's just going to be more busted now. It was already a really good card. They made it better, okay?
Dinosaurs are cool, and we're returning to Ngoro, man. So I guess that's the deal there. Now, Arena updates. So we did do a lengthy episode, I guess, on our thoughts on Arena. So I'm going to quickly read this off, and then I'm just going to sort of pass on the mic. But on July 1st, with patch 33.0, all ongoing arena runs will end and a new arena season will begin. This season will feature a new curated card pool for each class, with cards coming across all sets. Play with new cards early. Cards from the Lost City of Ngoro will be incorporated into a card pool a week before the new expansion releases on July 8th. All the new quest cards from the Lost City of Ngoro, as well as some returning quests, will be draftable and come with the 5 support cards in their legendary bucket. The dev comment here is, after listening to player feedback, so this is what we were talking about before, we've updated the rewards for Underground Arena, with a focus on making it easier to earn back your entry costs through deep runs by further streamlining the reward structure and reallocating some of the crowd's favor. We were able to provide better gold and ticket payouts, bringing back more of that infinite run feeling that has been a hallmark of the classic arena experience. We'll be monitoring how things play out and will continue to adjust as needed. So I guess the big thing here is what we were focusing on before, unless if you guys want to touch on the first half with all the quests and old quests being draftable. That's kind of neat. But I guess our main focus here is the rewards, is what we had talked about before, in the fact that you were not able to, get gold, and you couldn't get that feeling that you got before of, hitting that 3 wins, which is kind of the real breaking point, and then that 7 wins was the official, because you got the 150 gold back. I want to pass the mic to Schmoopydady here. Have you had a chance to look through all of these? We can go them through one by one if you would like, but
I just loaded up Hearthstone to take a look. This is my look for the first time.
So I have heard a lot of the kind of community reaction and feedback while I haven't played it myself. So we start getting going infinite in the underground at like what, 6 now, 7, where we get 2 tavern tickets. And outside of that, it's kind of felt like to a lot of folks that, you know, they're seemingly getting less. Again, I haven't played it. I haven't really looked at the specifics of each of these because like my tickets at this point we're going towards the pre-release brawl. So that's where I was investing those at that point.
It looks better. I will say.
It is a lot better.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, I think it is better. I think that it does still need some improvement just from the pulse of like, you know, the places that I have seen. So better, needs improvement, but you can actually go infinite and still get packs and a lot more easily and consistently this way. So step in the right direction, I think.
And to be noted, this is underground exclusive rewards. This is not just regular arena. So it seems that they have not touched the rewards on that side. And underground is meant to be more difficult, yes. So as Sheep said, you get the
spiky and like the people who
so
are trying to go and get the content and go infinite and all that.
Gamba. So again, that's the mode that has the redraft process too, which is I was just explaining to Neon Heron today on like a call because I was playing arena while on the treadmill because I'm trying to get, I'm like 10 pounds heavier than I thought I was out of shape, and I'm actually 10 pounds heavier than I expected to be. Like looking at the reward structure, they're now incorporating getting like, maybe with 1 win, maybe you get a pack, maybe you get 50 gold. Just like sort of sneaking in gold in little places. It looks like you don't really go infinite, excuse me. You don't break even on value until about 5 wins. Which is, again, that's 2 wins more than it used to be. It used to be 3 wins, you were getting your value for entry. The old value for entry was 150 gold. The new value for entry is
2 tavern tickets,
300
gold
functionally,
or 400 runestones, so $4.
So like I'm looking at if we treat each tavern ticket as 150 gold, and we treat each pack as 100 gold, then looking at like 4. Okay, so looking at 4 wins, you get 2 packs. They vary up what packs you get. You get 2 packs and 120 gold. So basically, if you only get to 4 wins, you're shorting yourself 30 gold. Am I doing that? No, you're shorting yourself. Quick maths. Sorry, 200. No, okay, you go over. Never mind. 100. Sorry, we're doing quick math. We're doing it live. F it, we're doing it live. No, bronze 3. So okay, so like 3 wins. 3 wins, you're basically short 25 gold, and then at 4 wins, you are essentially getting your value back. It looks like. That's okay. Like 4 wins is pretty achievable, but again, you're getting your value in packs. You're not getting your value in gold. That's okay though. As far as I'm concerned, that's okay because it's you're still acquiring you're still acquiring stuff. They also did bring the crowd's favor. I don't know, but like the crowd's favor. Did it used to be 2,000 gold?
It did. You could earn.
Now it's 1,000 gold, but they pulled it down by like 6% to.
Was it actually 2,000?
It was 2,000. Yeah.
That was one element that I really didn't like at all. The crowd's favorite thing. So
I don't like it in general. because of the low percentage chance. It was so funny because when I read it the last time we did the news on it, I was like, oh, well, look, at 6 wins, you get this much gold. And one of you two, I can't remember which, was like, a chance at, and I was like, a chance. Like, oh, well, screw that noise. I thought this was awesome.
Right. And a low chance.
Yeah.
I think
I
it
thought they were
was
being
like,
super generous.
I think it was Zeddy who went like 29 runs of 12 wins and never got crowd's favorite. And so he was saying that he was 0-29 for getting it.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I don't know. I think it's like giga low. So yeah, I don't know. I'm functionally like discounting the crowd's favor because I'm looking at that as like, this is not something you should bank on ever hitting because the percentages are so low.
Yeah,
pretend it does not exist,
and then it feels like a high roll when you get a yay. But it's like, it's kind of like, yeah, like this is the part that's like a little bit gross where like the percentage is so low that it's like, I'm not going to use the P word. It's not predatory, but like it's just like I don't know.
It's just adding that same like kind of Gamba feeling that we, spoke at length about disliking last episode. Hydra and I, for sure. All of us, I think. Well, Schmoopy via message or whatnot as well. So yeah, that monetization method and that the kind of getting you to chase a carrot that just feels icky. I don't like it.
Icky carrot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, oh, wait, I can get 1,000 gold. No, you really can't though. you especially, you can't. No. And like, that's 5%. That's like, okay. It's like, well, wait, it's 5%. It's 5% of my runs. Well, are you getting 6 wins every run? Right? Like, so it's not great. I don't know. I think the crowd's favor is just sort of icky and they should get rid of it. And they should just give us guaranteed rewards instead.
You can't take it away now. You had a chance at it, Schmoopydady, and now it's gone.
And even at that, it's not 5% of your runs. It's every run has that 5% chance once you get to that threshold. And so it's even worse because of variance. You're probably not going to get it because you have a 95% chance of not getting it. Yeah.
It's really stupid. And the new arenas are really
hard.
It's
like King Crush all over again.
That redrafting really like forges like the 2 lost decks that used to be easy marks are not easy marks anymore. It's like, well, I've got a good deck, but I've gone 2 lost. It's going to be fun. No, they've hammered out all the crap in their lists, and now they're like streamlined. So like, man.
Yeah. So they are working on Arena. They did say that they'll be monitoring how things play out and will continue to adjust as needed. It's so funny because when I read this, I actually didn't read it as a positive. I read it as a negative. Like, yeah, if people are going infinite, we're going to back off.
Oh, no. That for what it's worth, that is not how I read it, but that's funny.
That is exactly how I read it. I was like, oh no.
I hope that's not how it was intended.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't. I guess it was just the glass is like half full in me. That just sort of, that's exactly where my brain went. Yeah. So next, there was just like, well, there's some battleground stuff, whatever. We do have some deck recipe updates. So you'll be seeing the new decks. We got some like Rarin stuff with CBGBs, Amy and Voxy, Day 9 and Raffle, and how are you supposed to Samu and
who's that?
Nim? It's a person who made some decks, okay?
Okay.
Now,
and they're
I think that it's a hard C. It's not a soft C, so it's not what you said. It's
Camus. Camus.
I actually don't know. I just wanted to riff on it, but
And then
probably similar.
Nims as well. So those are the deck recipes you're going to be seeing coming up when you are, just auto building your decks. But there's like a bazillion bug fixes. I don't know. A lot of them are just bugs right in Hearthstone because now they separate them for if they're arena or if whatever they are. So a lot of it is constructed play. I read through these, not a lot, really spoke to me. I don't know if any of these were big in your guys' eyes. Are there any that stood out to you when you took a look at any of these bug fixes?
Them. They brought back Cho'Gall, like the free Cho'Gall that like did like the event, the Rift, the portals, the like, oh chaos, yay, yeah, the ones that like everybody hated, and by everybody I mean not like 75% of the Hearthstone population. It's just like, oh my god, these stupid anomalies. They finally brought back that Cho'Gall for reasons.
I don't even think that's on the list.
Yeah, he was banned. He was banned for like 3 months.
I didn't even notice.
Reasons. I don't. Yep, nobody did. Well, some people did. A lot of memers did. A lot of memers like, why is my Cho'Gall banned? Can somebody explain this to me? I'm like, I can't. I have no idea. I didn't even know he was banned. No clue.
No, I deleted my even lock that I was playing Cho'Gall in, so it wouldn't have even popped up on my screen. But it was there for a while.
It's not even the worst meme card because at least it has taunt and lifesteal. Like it's aggressively statted with like good keywords. You're like, you can get away with playing it in a slot pile, but I mean, you're still playing a slot pile, so. Yeah.
I mean, I was playing even lock with Zihi and that, so.
A lot of these are visual bugs. There is one because this would suck. There was a bug where Horn of Plenty failed to discover any cards when played by a class that had no nature spells. So if it just didn't work,
that's funny.
I guess that would suck.
So I forget what the exact sequence was, but one time I was playing Martian while Martian was streaming, and I was in Druid, and I discovered a shadow spell. There's exactly one shadow spell for Druid. Can you figure it out? Which one it is? There's one. It's 5 mana, and it makes 2/1/2 poisonous spiders. And so like I went through the sequence.
Wow.
I went through the sequence, and it was like discover. It was like discover, and there was one option, and like it happened, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh, and I got to play it, and Martian made note of the fact like I had one option, and also that I did play it. So chat was just like, well done, well done. So yeah, there are little gaps in what's available in some of the discover pools. They're like, and I think there's still only one shadow spell in Druid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go.
So
that's basically it for the patch 33.0. Before we move on to our next topic, we do have a bit of a treat. So
though I will say be kind during the chorus, because I'm not a singer.
Born to Be Wild is known, or was known at least, for its parody songs, and everyone used to participate. It's just been a minute, and Goliath is the only one been doing them, but ElectricSheepCity sent me a DM this morning saying, I'm going to record a song, and I'm going to send it to you later today. And he did that thing. And the song is about Ice Block. So, without further ado, here is Ice Block by ElectricSheepCity.
I play wild almost every day. I like jamming hostage mage. I played a block natural from my deck. I survived. Hey, wanted wanted all the blocks I never had. Got a second block from Rewind. I've got Rhat in my hand. Now I survive. I had a one-way ticket to a place where all the demons are from. Where killed Jaden's portal lies and nothing in the deck can ever glow. No hope, just concede, and you're taught to curse at your opponent. And I survived. I'm still playing. I'm still playing. I'm still playing. I'm still playing. I played Ice Block. Ice Block. Ice Block. Ice Block. I found solace in the stranger's place. I got third block from Pupil. I saw lethal on my opponent's board. I was fine. I had a one-way ticket to a place where all the demons are from. Where killed Jaden's portal lies and nothing in the deck can ever glow. No hope, just concede, and you're taught to curse at your opponent. And I survived. I've got a block up, another block up. Got a block up, another block up. Ice block. Ice block. Ice block. Ice block. You found my block, but I'm still playing. 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 I have played every single Ice block that you could ever possibly play. I discovered every block that I could, but you never noticed that I was thriving. I knew what I wanted, I went out and got it. Played all the things for Grand Magister Romat. I told you that I would never stop playing, and all because of you. I'm still playing. I'm still playing. I'm still playing. I'm still playing. Ice block. 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 Ice block.
That was something.
Oh,
The ice block part it was still a little rough, but you know, I'm not a singer.
you know what? I've definitely heard worse. That was good.
That was a parody.
Good, Sheep.
That was good.
That was a parody. And all parodies are at least slightly cringy that we do in Born to Be Wild. But I think I was thinking about it when the music picks up and like the lyrics go like fast, like that tempo increase, and I was like, he's riffing, like he's actually going for it. Like it's pretty good. So thank you, Sheep. That was
Yeah. And if we have someone who can actually sing for the chorus part, I would be happy to incorporate that as well. That would be nice.
It was so random too, because so like I'm at work and Sheep's just like, I'm gonna do this thing today, It may be good, it may not. But I'm doing it, which is pretty cool.
The bravery. Full sending.
Yep.
I'm here for
Yeah,
it.
I remember. I just like I used to just make them and ship them off to Nate. I was like, here you go. I know we need one. Just like another Green Day song.
And Green Day would have probably been more in my range, but
I think my first one was a 10 Years After song. But yeah, they're so fun. Like they really, really are. Maybe we need to do I'd say duet. What is it, like a triad? What's it when there's three people?
Trio?
I guess we have a trio of, yeah, thanks, idiot.
It's all right. You play Wild, dude. It's all right. It's all right. It's just long-term effects of playing Wild. I get it.
Long-term effects. Long-term effects. Yeah, I guess the three of us haven't done one specifically together. We should probably rip off that Band-Aid. Anyway, let's move on to what we have next in the news, which is, oh my gosh. So, we got a tweet from Celestalon. No one was awake for it if you live in this part of the world.
Nope.
But Celestalon posted at 1:29 a.m. this morning on July 4th, E.T.C band manager has been temporarily banned in Wild. This poor guy, his boss called him at 1:30 in the morning. It was like, yeah, I can't call Hat. So you've got to make this post. And so Celestalon is like typing. I don't even think he has any typos, which is pretty good. Types out at 1:29 a.m. that hey all, we just banned E.T.C band manager in Wild due to an exploit. Given the holiday weekend in the US, our communications on this issue will be limited. Thus, you are getting me high. We will unban it as soon as we can fix the exploit, but that will not be until we are back in the office next week. Thank you all. So let's go in a little further on this. So Soda had posted a tweet the day before, technically, which isn't saying much because that was at 1 a.m. But Soda had posted, cheater alert. Wild is broken again. You can run adventure or dual cards in E.T.C and play it on the Wild ladder with some illegal ways. Cannot leak more details, and do not try it on ladder because you will be banned.
Real.
Yeah. So this basically, without getting into like exactly how you can do it, basically you could use some sites that are deck building sites, and what you could do is pick a card from an adventure, put it into your deck, and export the code. In general how it works. You export the code, and there's a weird way to make it work on ladder. It shouldn't let you play it. It should go red, but there's another loophole to make that work as well, which I feel like I'm not going to discuss here because that
Oopsie poopsie.
Yeah. And it looks like E.T.C was pivotal in whatever exploit was opened up. And so they're, banning E.T.C in the interim until that bug can be fixed. However much, I love playing E.T.C, and it, if it keeps this from happening in the meanwhile, then like sick. Like this shouldn't be happening. They realize that and are going to fix it. I understand this Band-Aid. So
yeah.
Band-Aid.
This was.
I'm glad you got that.
This was super lame when this happened in duels and functionally ended my duels career. If you remember when this was like, they said, well, duels is ending, and then all of a sudden people started using a similar exploit in duels and kind of just breaking open the format, and all of a sudden it was like you were queuing into people who were doing things that shouldn't be possible and killing you on turn one, and like it really put a sour taste in my mouth as just like wow, this is how they just like get rid of the format faster. So like I would have been upset if this was happening on ladder 2 while I was tryharding. It is worth noting though that ETC, what do you think the over under is on the number of decks in Wild where people were running ETC? I have to
it's
guess.
gotta be huge.
I've seen some screenshots of some people because people like their slot piles and they like their options on tech cards. I was guessing it's got to be like at least 40% of the decks on Wild Ladder.
40
overall. That's my guess. Think about how many Renethal tech W piles are out there, and like ETC is just thrown in.
That's high, I think, but I was gonna say like
I don't know
22%.
I've asked this question.
I was thinking kind of like 33. I was thinking probably about a third, which is still a ton, but right.
I asked this question in a certain forum in a couple different forums, and every single time I asked this question, I got ETC is banned in Wild, and they linked to me the post. I'm like, yeah, I know, thank you very much. That's not the question I freaking asked. What? Oh, I think the play rate's probably 0 right now. I'm gonna reach the computer. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna reach to the screen. I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna find your funny GPS codes, and I will slap you IRL. I just want to know, what do you think the stats was for the ETC being played in Wild before this happened?
The magics
anyway.
of a physics teacher.
Anyway,
he can do so. He has the know-how and the elbow grease.
We've already talked about the space-time continuum this episode. I will break it just so that I can go find these people and slap them while I'm doing the episode. All right? Can't be in the same place at the same time. Don't have to be.
Now you're thinking with portals.
If you guys are watching the video version of this podcast, you can see that this is as broken as getting a 0 mana 100 attack weapon.
Yeah. And in that same picture, they've put the King plush into the ETC as well somehow. And I guess because they've done that, they're able to have the pet like active. It looks like he's in the bottom left. That's
everything's a card. They could probably have put portraits in there too, but the portraits wouldn't have done anything. You could put in like battlegrounds minions. You could have put in Mercs minions. Rip Mercs, like I don't know, you could have like the same stuff they were doing in duels. You could probably just have done it here too. Yeah. Somebody shared a screenshot. It's like, why am I getting purified sharded by a rogue on turn 4? So the opponent had coined ETC, picked purified shard from the ETC, and then played Swift Scale Trickster and paid it for 0 mana on turn 4. So like less creative. They could have just gotten a 100 attack weapon and won. I guess this was safer. I don't know. Like, I don't know. This is. I'm glad this is gone.
Yeah. They probably had both. One for like extra BM.
I don't know how long this was actually going on for in Constructed. Between Soda and posting this and Celestalon putting an answer out, it was a very small window. So there's a chance someone came across it like a little while ago and just no one reported it. Maybe someone was confused. I'd report, but if you're doing this down like at the bottom of the ladder and trying to climb up with a new account, because why would you risk your actual account doing something like this, right? Like, there is no way I would ever on an account that I've been playing on.
They're playing Wild. I don't know.
But like for 10 years, if you've been playing this game for 10 years, like why would you ever try to do it, right? So it would have to be if you made some sort of like Smurf account or something. Open, as Sheep says, open a festivals pack and get your ETC and your
get grinding
and who cares, right? If it's your I'm not endorsing it, but
No,
Like that's the way.
please don't do that. No,
Which is why I didn't say
Exactly.
the ways to do it exactly, because
yeah.
I don't understand why anybody would risk like their account. I do think it was super funny that there was. Do you remember when Ixar was trying out one of the exploits? I can't remember what it was. People
It was
kept,
the
like,
Maxima Cthulhu one.
Is that what it
and
was?
Taylor ran into him. Yeah.
Screenshotted Ixar doing it, and he's like, it's just some R&D, like, chill out. Like, I gotta test and play it, right?
Where that's different is the exploit is in the game, but it's not. You don't have to do any extra third party thing. This is very different. Where you're doing some sort of like third party application or shenanigans in order to make the thing happen. Versus
100%.
This is how my client is
in the deck.
The client's broken. This is just happening, like Bug Druid.
Yeah.
Like when we had that, that silly like, if Jerry Rig Carpenter splits, Oasis whatever, and you get a free 6/6, like that was just in the game. That was just happening. Like you could have just come across an interaction and thought nothing of it. There were also broken interactions around the same time of like there were choose one cards that were getting both effects. But the old choose one card sucked, so like it didn't matter competitively really, but it was cool because it was like, stealth buff, these are better. Like that's fine to play through. You're never going to get Blizzard jail for that, because that's just like, and it's not really your fault. And Martian was the first person I heard that said like, listen, you shouldn't have to police yourself. You should just play the game client as it is before you, and be completely oblivious as to whether or not it's operating properly or not. If it's not, that's not your fault. If you're going to some sort of third party and doing like some shenanigans or jumping through loopholes, they should get whacked. And that's what was happening here.
No notes.
Nope, no notes. They've taken care of it. We'll see what some sort of fix they do. They said they're going to take care of it early next week when they're back in the office. I hope everybody on the team has a good long weekend and doesn't spend the whole weekend thinking about how to fix it, and has some fun. Up next I might call this the discussion topic instead of the news. So we have a really good friend of the podcast and a previous guest of the podcast, and someone who's been around the community for a very long time, named Ridiculous Hat. And so recently, Ridiculous Hat posted on his Twitter account a brief update stating, my contract with Blizzard has concluded. I am hopeful to return, but I won't be available for Hearthstone stuff after today. Thanks to all of you. The last couple of years have been so fulfilling, and that's because of the team and the community. My social media presence will be greatly reduced in the near term. If I do not reply, please do not take it personally. Thanks for understanding. So for those of you that don't know, Ridiculous Hat, and I'm sure you all know, but there may be somebody who doesn't, but Ridiculous Hat has been around, the community forever. He was on Coin Concede for the longest time. He ended up going on to the Angry Chicken as well, and then got hired as like a community manager on like the Hearthstone team, and has been the one who makes all the posts on your social medias with all of the updates that we get, is the sort of liaison in the creator program for all of us, and just keeps us all, including you and us, all informed on everything that's happening with the game, and
he
takes
was
feedback.
actively going into like every single like social platform he could. Like if if you were on Reddit, you saw him in the comments, like replying to things. Like if you were on Twitter or Blue Sky, you saw him doing the same thing. Like he was everywhere. And just liaising way above and beyond on top of all of the stuff that he did for the content creators, which I think was his primary responsibility. And he aced that too. Like speaking as, one of, I guess, the customers there, like obviously we knew him before, but even if we hadn't, like this would have been a huge loss, and it is. So he did elaborate a little to kind of contextualize.
Yeah, so I'll pull that up right now, because obviously that bomb gets dropped, right? And everyone's like, what happened? Why the heck would they get rid of Ridiculous Hat? What is happening? And then rage ensues. And I understand. And what was great, as Sheep just said, there was some clarification by Hat himself, who stated, I haven't responded to you all here yet, but let me tell you that it has been an overwhelming and humbling 24 hours. So one day after he made his post, the energy and support is incredible and so much more than I expected. This is the best community in gaming. With that being said, I wanted to clarify a few things. I was not fired. This is a contract ending, not a personal action against me. There is no beef here. I'm actively exploring ways to return and have been since well before yesterday. My teammates on the marketing side have done so much and will continue to do so. You might not know them because they don't yap as much as I do. Ridiculous yap. But they're wonderful people who truly care. Please don't misdirect any anger when they definitely do not deserve it. I'm still going to be chilling and taking my time away from socials as much as my Twitter warped brain will allow me. I really appreciate everyone showing up for me. I'm hopeful things will quiet down a bit and that I will see you all again soon. Maybe I'll take a little vacation into a volcano in the jungle. So in short, contract over. That's all it was. It sounds like there is possible ongoing negotiations. Nothing's been settled. And he is in limbo, but that sort of puts a lot of us in limbo as well, because he was our liaison. As he states, looking hopeful to see what goes on in the future.
Yeah, and I can't recall who in the community noted that a while ago that essentially that position was posted. And so odds are, contract concluded. There's now, that position posted. But there have also been a lot of layoffs at Microsoft too. So I'm sure that plays into the landscape of everything. But Hearthstone has been profitable. So even though Warcraft Rumble in the past week also went away, that's not a news item on here, but it is newsworthy, right? That's sad. I don't like that. I didn't play it, but my buddy Hydra did, and my buddy Ray did. That's sad. So I don't know. It's all really kind of disheartening, and we really definitely hope that we get Hat back soon. Definitely understand the hiring process can take some time, and if the contract ending stuff happened, it being a new hire, quote unquote, I guess that's how they decided to do it. From an HR perspective, that's not how I would have handled it, but
Yeah,
what do I know?
And there's some chatter on Reddit that Microsoft only does like vendors or contracts. I guess Hat wasn't necessarily, it wasn't specifically a Blizzard employee. He was an outside contractor hired by Blizzard, and so Microsoft has a policy that like you can't have contractors for more than 18 months with like, you know, their contract ends, you can't bring them back for another 6 months. So they don't like having outside contractors on endless contracts for reasons. Like, so like there's a chance that we're going to see Hat back in 6 months, and it's like, it's back. And then like, you know, in another 18 months, they're going to be like, no, Hat, no. And like, you know, it'd be ideal if that's like
rinse and repeat.
Repeat, if that's the arrangement that it has to be, but ideally not. Seems super inefficient, especially since like, you know, Celestalon's going to be catching the stray stupids from now on. I've already seen people being like, can you just ban E.T.C from Mage? Mage, it seems kind of problematic. Maybe we should just ban it from Mage and not. And it's like, dude, come on. Hostage Mage is a problem. You can't play it. Nobody plays it. Nobody plays it. If you're facing Hostage Mages, they probably suck at it. Like, statistically speaking. Nobody can play Hostage Mage. Everybody throws playing Hostage Mage. It's a bad experience. But nobody's good at it. So, like, it's fine. I don't know. I'd be like, if it was everywhere, I'd be okay with banning it too. But like, nobody's banning. Anyway,
Right.
I'm digressing. One thing I wanted to just add, because I wanted to add to the we're going to miss Hat sentiment. One of the things that you don't necessarily see as the community is, let's say a new card comes out and there's an interesting interaction, and we're like, in Wild specifically, we're like, wait, does this happen or does this happen? Hat is so knowledgeable on how the game works and how the game is coded that you could ask him that question and he might be able to answer it on the spot. And if he doesn't,
he has.
and if he doesn't, he's like walking down the hall to ask somebody exactly how it's supposed to work. And it's really funny when the answer comes back. They're like, I don't know. We're going to find out. That's always fun. But sometimes, like, a lot of times you get like a really insightful answer. And also like, you know, bugs, right? If like a bug happens, like he's very much on like the very first, like, oh man, he's like right on the front lines. We actually caught a bug. We caught a bug, in the third place game of the Born to Be Wild listener series, one of the last ones that we did, where there was like an order in the court moment, and like cards were swapped or cards were stolen or the top deck was changed, and Cariel should have been stolen and wasn't, and Cariel was actually like, Cariel not getting stolen was pivotal in the game. And so Hat's like, all right, send me evidence. And we sent the video evidence. We sent the replay.
We casted it. Yeah.
Hat's like, I don't know what happened here. That's a bug. And so that got caught. And that got so like, you know, it influenced, you know, our little competition, our little, you know, competitive competition, and was caught by Hat. And that's the sort of thing that Hat would do frequently. So like, he is absolutely going to be missed in many facets, not just like, again, you know, filtering the Reddit opinions from Twitter or the Twitter opinions from Reddit or whatever he's doing, and just being generally helpful. If you had an issue, it was like, go talk to Hat.
Yeah, like whenever the Google Pixel stuff and the, you know, script not being on, like he actively was updating me like, hey, it's not going to happen on this one, but the team is still working on it. And without me even like prompting in an individual DM, because he knew that it was a thing. So he just, hey, FYI, nudge, like, this is something that's happening. That proactive communication, even whenever it's not like, you know, what you want to hear, like, goes a long way, man. It really does. And he if he was doing that for and with us, like, let's be real, in the grand scheme of things, we are small potatoes, right? Like,
yeah, like I get spectator bug on my PC when I'm not spectating, when I'm like actively playing a game. And I've talked about this on the show in the past as to how that happens. Like, he took an active interest in my complaints, even though that he is not tech support.
no, not at all.
he actively was like, try this, try that. Oh, did you do this? Did you do that? And he was just like
when in doubt, scan and repair. When in doubt, scan and repair.
Dude, I tried that so many times.
That's the first thing.
Dude, I've tried. It still happens. It happened yesterday like 10 times while I was playing.
Oh no.
I don't know how to fix it. It's not my antivirus. It's not my internet connection. It's I have no idea why I get spectator bug on my PC. It is while I'm playing ladder, like not spectating. It's nuts.
I believe that Schmoopy's hand is up, and he is not
Oh, it's
just
not
chilling
actually
this
just
time.
on the top of his desk this time.
No. He's being very conspicuous about it. So
2 instances where Hat has helped out. I remember our friend of the podcast, Heaven's Door, missed their monthly rewards. Straight up didn't get monthly rewards. Logged in, normal day, rank reset. Heaven's Door's like, where's my stuff? It was a rare bug. It didn't happen to a lot of people. I couldn't get answers from it. DM'd Hat. Hat took care of it. Hat figured it out. Second instance, and this actually doubles back to the exploits. When Neon Heron was playing, I think it was Duels. I think Neon Heron was also playing Duels, and he ran into 2 cheaters on 2. I forget if it was 2 separate runs. It was like cheaters on multiple runs.
yeah. I remember that.
And it was
And we just.
It's like, bro, he had his runs ended by people that were breaking the code intentionally, and he got, I don't know if he got nothing at first, but then after clarifying with Hat's like, dude, it's just quicker, just give me his code. And I gave him his battle tag, and they looked it up, and sure enough, he had hit cheaters multiple times, and they Blizzard took care of him. Blizzard like refunded him the runs or something like that, and gave him the rewards. Wow. And so like it all worked out. It all ended well. But that was because we had someone like Hat who we could say, hey, this is messed up. Can you please fix this? Not that Blizzard itself isn't willing to make the fixing, but they need a focal point and a liaison in order to start that process. And Hat is really, 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 really good at doing that. And so,
and really good at like taking people who are upset and being like, hey, I see what your issue is here. Let me get a little bit more info to see what we can make it right. Like, he's great at taking that and turning it into like I said, the pixel bug. Like, that was an issue, but I felt seen. I felt like updated and whatnot. And I know that we were not alone in that. A number of times we reached out with stuff that folks would come to us. I'm sure that other streamers would experience this too, where like, Hearthstone playing kid who doesn't really know anything. It's not on Twitter or whatever. It's just like talking in chat to their favorite streamer and then going like, hey, this is happening. A number of times I've experienced or heard of streamers like talking to Hat and saying like, hey, this happened. Here's their info. And then boom, like he fixes it. So like all of those kind of, even if people don't know that Hat was fixing things, he was the liaison because so many people would funnel into him for that. It was wild.
The fact that he was and is someone who plays the game a lot, and had his own podcast about it, like for years, like made him the perfect, person for that job. And one of my, one thing I'd like to share about Hat is if you've ever listened to him on Coin Conceit or spoken to him like on voice chat or anything like that, if you've heard him speak, he speaks like an auctioneer. He also types like an auctioneer. You can say, you can type out like a Neanderthal like me with like maximum 4 fingers. This is the bug that I'm experiencing. And then he'll write out like a paragraph. Yeah, like that. Exactly. And it was like a full page with a full explanation. like that. Yeah, just anyways, we've done a lot of hat praising, and I know a lot of people out there in the community are too, like his tweet had mentioned. And so, yeah, let's hopefully in 6 months, if that is the case, with the contracts, we'll see. I can't see how we wouldn't, but
Just rehire him as an
you never
employee,
know.
please.
Yeah, right.
We're just like, don't do that and just rehire him.
And
Please.
and to kind of conclude the hat praising, like we've been talking about all of this like professional stuff because like he's really dang good at that job. But he's so good at that job because he cares so much, right? Like Hat is an incredible human. So like him understandably taking, break from social media and us missing out on him is a loss in so many ways. Like he's a special dude.
He also knows how to diagnose and fix movie projectors, which I believe is what his job was before he worked for Hearthstone. He fixed things that were important to audiences in both
And he then,
careers.
I believe, I believe at the point of transition, he was a manager even. Like,
Yeah. No, that's awesome. The one last thing I'm going to bring up is, I didn't put it in the show notes, but Sheep had mentioned it. There was the layoffs in the Xbox division of Microsoft. And so, yes, my dear game Warcraft Rumble is now in maintenance mode. So it's not gone. It's just forgotten. Basically, there's cycles of events that will continue to happen. There's raids and sieges and Darkmoon Fair and all that stuff. It's still going to happen. However, they're not going to be making any more content. There's no more new characters. What you have is what you have. There's going to be no new heroes, nothing like that. It's like, imagine Hearthstone just stopped now. There's no more new cards. No more new classes.
You can still get the cards that are there. I'm sure that, the store will always be open, but
yeah. And then there's events.
That's what's
like
happening there.
Fire Festival still happens and stuff like that still happens. It encourages you to play Imbue or encourages you to discover, and they'll keep all that going. But there's like nothing new. And I think a lot of us saw it coming, mostly because they went very heavy on monetization. Like there was a ridiculous amount of them. They would release a new hero and there would be these like, they'd release like 3 different bundles for the same hero and like how fast you can upgrade them if you buy all 3. And one's like $20, one's $40, and one's $60. If you buy them all, then like you can max out your hero right away. And I never fell for quote unquote fell for those. I just leveled them up naturally, like you would.
Playing the game.
Just playing the
Hey,
game.
do you not want to experience the game? Do you want to pay to not play the game?
Yeah. It's kind of like in Mercenaries. You could buy like big bundles and like you could do stuff like that. But they just went like super, like really far with it. You could just buy all the stuff you need to make it max level now. You spend $80 and you can just do that now. And it's kind of crazy. It was way too much. Anyway, I was never a whale in that game. I do enjoy it. I was doing my quests yesterday because they announced it yesterday, and I still did my quest last night. And I was like doing them and feeling bad about it. Like, what is the point? Because I just got like certain things maxed out. Like I just maxed out execute, guys. Execute I have. It's legendary. It's full XP. It is the best execute you can get. It destroys everything. It gives all your minions in that range bloodlust as well. Like it's awesome.
Whoa.
The nuts.
And I finally maxed out execute. and they're like, "Oh yeah, game's like canceled." I'm like, "No."
Well, at least you just beat the game.
No. I mean, that was like the one thing that I had like the best of. Lots of are close. Blister Guy is
Right.
like at the top, or he has almost everything completely max. He
Nice.
just doesn't have enough. There's these like items you need to upgrade your minions to the top. Those come in time, but anyway, it's sort of sad to see. So basically the post was, "Dear Warcraft Rumble community, we have an important update on the future of Warcraft Rumble. After much deliberation, we have arrived at an extremely hard decision. Moving forward, we'll continue to support Rumble with updates focusing on regular systematic in-game events and bug fixes, but no new in-game content." So, yep. I don't know if I'm going to continue to play. It's still fun. We still got our guild. I've noticed people are still playing, but yeah, it's just kind of sad. Maybe it's one less thing I need to do each day. Maybe I should look at it that way.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I'll start
Free
playing
time.
on another server in Hearthstone again.
Oh no. You don't need to fill that void with other things, Hydra. It's okay.
You could sleep.
It's
Like you could.
Sleeping's good.
Sleeping's good.
All right. Does anybody have some unrelated advice?
I do.
Oh,
for
who?
you.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Unrelated Advice with Hydralisk.
Yes, Schmoopydady.
This is actually the perfect timing. I'm sorry your fun game is in maintenance mode. It sucks when like the things that we love get put in maintenance mode, right? One day even Hearthstone might be in maintenance mode with the same client, 175 years later. But what I'm most interested in now in learning is what new hobby is Blister Guy going to hard carry you through? Because at this point with Warcraft Rumble, going into maintenance mode and leaving us, Ray has got to drag you kicking and screaming through something. So if you're not sure off the top of your head, since this is unrelated advice and I'm taking you unawares, I've made a quick mental list of possible new activities that Ray could put you on his back and carry you through. There could be
Are you saying
birdhouse
that I have multiple
building.
choice?
Or you could pick D, none of the
Multiple
above
choice
either.
Options.
Yeah,
No,
options.
Yeah,
you know
others
let's-
definitely. Yeah.
Let's hear the multiple choice options.
Sure. So option A is birdhouse building. Like, I know you're a handy guy, you work in a wood shop, but I don't know. That's still like, it was the first thing that came to my
It's a
mind. So it
machine
doesn't
shop,
make a.
It's metal. Okay.
Yeah, it's a different material. I'm sure the principles are the same. Measure twice, cut once. Simplify it down. Like how easy could it? How hard could it possibly be? But I feel like Ray could still help you in some occasions. He'd probably know some hacks or something, or like what level you got to get to in order for you to make the most symmetrical birdhouse on the first run.
I love it.
Or how to attract different birds with different like floor plans.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. He might only know about Australian birds. Maybe this is an Australian birdhouse. I don't know. I'm not sure.
There are those ones he talks about in his podcast that are like, what are they called? Like street turkeys or something?
Like budgies.
Street turkeys? There's street
can't remember.
turkeys. I could just find a turkey
can't
on the
remember
street.
what
I
they're
have
called
turkeys
either.
I have turkeys in my yard, but like I'm imagining like turkeys in like a cityscape now, and that's terrifying.
That does not sound like budgies.
Option B is like a kangaroo farm. I don't know. He's Australian. I'm assuming there are like farm. I mean, you don't need to farm them, but like maybe you do. I don't know. Ray would know. Like, so that's where like again, he's hard carrying you through this process. If you wanted to start one, Ray's probably kind of closely related to the guy that you would ask.
What advantages there are to
Right.
farming kangaroos, right? Like,
Right. Probably none.
kangaroo milking. Is that a thing?
I'm not
Like,
milking a
what-
kangaroo. Maybe,
I
but it might be.
I did eat a kangaroo tail in the Sydney Tower one time.
Whoa.
There's a restaurant at
and
the
do they
top.
grow back? I don't know.
I didn't
right?
ask.
I think they're
that
perfectly happy to be rid of them, to
particular
be honest.
Kangaroo.
You might not want to breed more of them. That they probably breed just fine on their own. Did you know? Okay, fun fact about kangaroos. Did you know that a kangaroo can pause their pregnancy for up to 2 years if they don't have enough water to grow the fetus? Yeah, you can't get rid of these damn things. Anyway, all right. Option C.
Whoa,
Option C is oh my gosh. Okay, option C is walking to work. Ray has a lot of experience with that, and Hydra probably has less experience with that. I know you work pretty far away from where you live, Hydra, so like you might need to practice that in order to get better at it and cut down your time. So Ray could probably like walk you through the steps on getting better at that.
You see, what one of the integral steps in Ray's journey is the subway, right? Right? It's the train. So,
what sandwich does he order?
I don't know that he's eating fresh. Fun fact, back in the day, my wife had tried to make this.
This is the longest
homemade
unrelated
pizza.
advice ever.
Yeah. So I had made this.
And Hydra's given us none of it.
This homemade pizza. So we had the dough already. Everything was all set to go, and then the oven didn't turn on, right? So then the oven was like had to be replaced and all that stuff. So the dough went into the refrigerator. We forgot about it after we got the oven replaced and all that stuff. But I was able to find where it was by opening it and smelling Subway and following my nose and finding the moldy bread dough. So that is the smell that I associate with Subway, is that same exact smell, and I haven't been able to eat a Subway since.
Okay, I can't ask you why do they call it an oven when you in cold food out of hot eat the food, because that's not on topic. However, Hydra, option D. What is the special new task that Ray is going to drag you through kicking and screaming due to your own ineptitude now that Warcraft Rumble is in maintenance mode?
If I were to follow him into something or get him to coach me in something, it would be Magic the Gathering.
Ooh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Arena.
What and Arena? Oh.
MTGA.
Why? Wiser words may not have been spoken, and you heard that on.
Born to be wild.
I thought we were doing
Yeah, no,
paper
he's-
cards, and then now we're just doing.
That's why I was excited whenever you said magic, because I was like, oh yeah, because Ray's incredible at paper magic. I'm sure would translate, but